Okay, we're on the 4th page of the Chapter 11 Geometry Review. Here we're going to find the area of the composite figure. So it's not a regular polygon in any respect. It's got some unique things happening. So what I'm going to do is pretend that I've drawn a line across here. And I'm going to find the area of this rectangle and the area of this triangle and add the two parts together. So the area of the rectangle is actually a parallelogram, if we want to call it that, but one length is 8, then like the width is 5, or length 5, width 8, I don't know. If I take 8 times 5, I get 40 square centimeters. That gives me this one. Now, if I knew the length of this, I could take base times height, because they're telling us that this is 90 degrees right there. Because this segment is 2 and this segment is 1 and the whole thing across here is 8, if I take 8 minus 2 minus 1, that's going to give me the remaining length here, which is 5. So to find the area of this triangle, I'm going to take base, 5, times height, 5, divided by 2. 25 times 25 divided by 2, which is 25 halves square centimeters. And then let's add these two parts together. So we take 40 plus 25 halves, and we get 52.5 square centimeters. Again, showing some work is going to help me give you some points, even if you land on not the correct answer, so please show work, that'd be great. Find the area of the shaded region. This one's kind of tricky. If we were to cut this off right here, we essentially have a half circle, and over here we're missing a half circle. So I want you to imagine that we just took this part and slid it to the right, cut that off, slide it over, and what we would have is this perfectly filled in rectangle, which would actually be a square because both of its side lengths are the same. So to find the area of this shape, I'm just going to take 20 times 20. Now, this type of problem is asking us to find the area of what we've got, and then, so what I could do is the area of this plus the area of this, and then subtract away the area of that. So on your test, that's what it's going to ask you to be looking for. If you need to, you add up the stuff that you got, then subtract away the part that's not shaded. In this case, it just fits so perfectly there that we can take 20 times 20. And that's going to give us 400 square millimeters. Okay. Find the area of each shaded shape. They should have said that these two shapes were similar. I'm sorry that that's not written on there, but that's what I want you to think about for these last two problems. And when you come across problems like this on the test, it's going to be the same idea, okay? So we're looking for the area of the shaded shape, given that the two shapes are similar. Okay, so what we have is a side length and one area, and we're missing the other area. So we want to know that. So what we're going to do, it doesn't ask for a scale factor, nor for, you know, the shaded to the not shaded or anything like that. So it doesn't matter if we do 21 over 8 or 8 over 21. Just once we pick something, we're going to stick with it. I'm going to do 21 over 8. Is equal to, since I put 21 on the top, then I'm going to put the area on the top of the unknown thing. I'll call that x. And on the bottom, I put the area of the shape that has the 8 for one of its sides, so 24. Now, I can't just solve here and get the right answer. You may recall that when we're finding the area, the scale factor isn't what affected it. It wasn't just changed by that, but instead it was the scale factor raised to the second power. So here we're going to take 21 to the second power, which is 441, and 8 to the second power, which is 64, and then we're going to solve this cross multiplying from here. So I'm going to take 441 times 24, multiply those two things together, and I get 10,584. And if I cross multiply here, I get 64x. To solve for x, I'm going to divide both sides by 64. And I end up with 165.375. I'm going to go ahead and just round that to the nearest tenth. They didn't tell us what to do, but that's what I'm going to choose. You could also have 165.38 or 165.375. Any of those answers would be fine. Okay, last one, number 24. So we want to know the side length of this one. They gave us both the areas, but we don't know this length. So I'm going to put the unknown on top over 12. I'm going to square this side because it is the sides, and we need to square that to set it equal to the proportion to the ratio of the areas. So since the x is on top, I'm going to use the area that went with that shape. And the 12 as the denominator, I'm going to put the area of the side with 12 as the denominator. Okay, x to the second power is x squared. 12 to the second power is 144 equals 32 times 60. Cross multiply, we will get 60x squared equals 144 times 32, which is 4,608. Divide both sides by 60, and we get 76.8. So x squared, running out of space. Here's some more. X squared equals 76.8. So to find x alone, we're going to take the square root of both sides. And we get 8.7635692. I'm going to round to the nearest tenth and put it at 8.8. Now, if I were just solving the equation x squared equals something, and I take the square root of both sides, my answer would need to be plus or minus 8.8. I'm not putting plus or minus in this case because we're looking for a length, and length is always positive. So I don't need the negative answer as a possibility here because I'm looking for length. Okay, so that's something that may show up for you on ACTs or final, whoops, not squared, just 8.8 feet. And that's the end. If you got these questions right and were able to solve all of this independently, then I am guessing you will have great success on the test tomorrow. If you got these wrong or didn't try them independently or either of those situations, then you may not be prepared for the test yet. So I encourage you to try these problems by yourself and make sure you understand how to get the correct answer on each of these. And then on the test, you're probably going to have some extra time. You all finished the review before the class period was over, so if you have some extra time, it is not a bad idea to go back and check your work. Just plug stuff in one more time, make sure you've got it all right. Okay, good luck. I'll see you on Wednesday.